They found him alone, slumped forward in his recliner. No signs of injury. No cries for help. Just silence. The TV is still glowing, his robe is still open, and there is a quiet emptiness in the room. The kind of stillness that only follows something irreversible. Hello, my friend. I'm Dr. Micheal, and welcome to Mindful Senior Living, your trusted companion on this journey through the golden years. If you've ever felt like the world expects you to fade quietly into the background after 60, to tuck away those parts of yourself that once sparked joy and fire, then pull up a chair. Today, we're having a conversation that's long overdue. One that's intimate, yes, but also profoundly important for your health, your heart, and the man you still are. We're talking about self-pleasure, about masturbation in later life, and why giving it up might be quietly undoing the vitality you've worked a lifetime to build. Not with shame or judgment, but with the gentle honesty of a doctor who's walked beside thousands of men just like you. Farmers with called hands, veterans carrying stories in their eyes, grandfathers whose laughter once filled rooms, but now echoes a little softer. You see, I've spent over 3 decades in medicine, listening to the unspoken worries that weigh on men's shoulders as the years add up. Men who come to me feel a shadow creeping over their energy, their confidence, their very sense of self. And time and again, when we peel back the layers, we find it's not just old age doing the heavy lifting, it's neglect of a natural, God-given rhythm in our bodies that society once whispered was taboo, but science now shouts is essential. Today, I'm going to guide you through the real story. The 4 hidden ways stopping self-pleasure after 60 can improve your health, and the empowering steps to reclaim it. We'll draw on stories from my patients, the latest research, and simple wisdom you can start using tonight. By the end, you'll feel seen, equipped, and maybe even a spark of that old fire. If this resonates, whisper a quiet yes to yourself, or drop a 1 in the comments. If you're skeptical, that's okay too. Type a 0 and let's talk it through. Either way, you're here and that matters. Let's walk this path together. Picture this. It's a crisp autumn morning in a small town outside Chicago. Harold, a retired schoolteacher in his late 60s, shuffles into my office, his flannel shirt buttoned a little too tight, like he's holding everything in. He's got that look. The one where a man's eyes dart to the floor, avoiding the mirror across from my desk. Doc, he says, voice low, it's been, nothing down there for over a year. No morning surprises, no interest even when I tried. I thought it was just the diabetes or the meds or turning 67, but it's like part of me just quit. Harold's not alone. I've heard this confession more times than I can count. From men who've built lives of quiet strength, only to wake up one day feeling like strangers in their own skin. And the truth, backed by vascular biology we all learned in med school but rarely share over coffee, it's often the first silent thief, the loss of penile function, creeping in when sexual activity, including solo, fades away. Let me explain it like I'd explain it to my own brother. No jargon, just the facts your body lives by. Your penis isn't some relic gathering dust. It's a living network of blood vessels, nerves, and tissues, as vital to your overall circulation as the arteries feeding your heart. After 60, when natural changes like lower testosterone start nudging things along, regular stimulation, yes, through masturbation or intimacy, keeps the blood flowing, the oxygen delivering, and the tissues supple. Think of it as watering a garden. Skip too many days, and the roots dry up, the stems stiffen. Without it, blood flow slows to a trickle, leading to fibrosis. That's just a fancy word for scar-like hardening in the tissues. Nerves dull, erections become rarer, and what started as not tonight turns into never again, even with help from pills like Viagra. I remember Tom, a veteran from the Korean era, broad-shouldered even at 72, who gripped my hand like a vice when he admitted he'd stopped everything after his wife passed 5 years back. Felt disloyal, Doc, like moving on too soon. Noble, heartbreaking, and oh so human. But by the time he came to me, spontaneous erections were a memory, and even touch barely stirred a response. We ran tests. His vascular health was solid otherwise, but the disuse had let fibrosis set in, like an unused hinge rusting shut. It took months of low-dose therapy, pelvic floor exercises, and gently encouraging him to rediscover solo touch, a comeback. Not back to his 30s, but enough to feel like Tom again, enough to date a widow from his church group and laugh about it over pie. Studies echo this. Research from the American Journal of Medicine shows men aged 55 to 75 who maintain regular intercourse or equivalent activity are far less likely to develop erectile dysfunction. It's not magic, it's mechanics. The act of arousal pumps blood through those vessels, oxygenating tissues, signaling to your body, we're still in this. So, how do you protect this? Start small, with kindness to yourself. Once or twice a week, in a quiet moment, maybe after a warm shower, with no rush or performance pressure, gently explore. Use lubrication if needed. It's your friend, not a luxury. Pair it with deep breaths, letting your mind wander to fond memories, not fantasies that feel forced. And talk to your doctor if ED sneaks up early. We've got tools from pumps to injections, but prevention is the kindest medicine. Harold? He started with guided audio, I recommend. Nothing explicit, just relaxing prompts. 3 months later, he was walking taller, telling me, Doc, it's like flipping a switch I forgot was there. That's the power. Not obsession, but stewardship of a body that's carried you this far. But here's where it gets deeper, my friend, because losing that function isn't just physical. It whispers doubts into your ear, chips at the man who once chased dreams without apology. And if we don't catch it early, the next wave hits. Your hormones start to falter, pulling the rug out from under your energy, your mood, your very drive to greet the day. Let's lean into that story now, because I've seen it rewrite lives when we intervene. Imagine it's a rainy Tuesday in Seattle, and in walks Elias, a former mechanic whose hands still smell faintly of oil despite retirement. At 65, he's gained a paunch he jokes about, but his eyes tell a different tale, flat, distant, like the spark's been doused. I slept fine, Doc, but I woke up empty. No fire to fix the grandkids' bikes or even read the paper without nodding off. We chat, and it tumbles out. No intimacy since his divorce a decade ago, no self-touch either. What's the point at my age? Society's echo, loud and unhelpful. But blood work doesn't lie. His testosterone sat at 280 ngdl, low even for his years, accelerating a natural decline that hits 1 to 2% per year after 30. Testosterone isn't some macho myth. It's the conductor of your orchestra, fueling muscle, sharpening focus, stockings that quiet zest for life. Sexual activity, including masturbation, is one of nature's ways to keep it humming. When you arouse and release, your brain fires up the hypothalamus, the master gland, releasing dopamine, a feel-good messenger that nudges your testes to produce more Q. Skip it for weeks, months, the signal fades. No need here, your body thinks, and production dips faster. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found older men with regular sexual engagement maintained 15-20% higher free testosterone levels than their abstinent peers. Elias's drop wasn't just age, it was absence, compounding fatigue, irritability, even bone fragility and heart risks. We started simple, hormone checks, then lifestyle tweaks, weight training twice weekly, because muscle builds T naturally, and yes, reintroducing solo pleasure as a ritual, not a chore. Think of it as maintenance, Elias, I said, like oiling your tools. He chuckled, skeptical, but tried. 4 months in, levels climbed to 450, and with it, stories poured out, hikes with his son, a renewed hobby of carving wooden boats. I feel like me again, Doc, not the ghost. That's the ripple. Low T doesn't just dim the bedroom, it dims the boardroom of your life. your relationships, your pride in the mirror. Protecting this isn't rocket science. Aim for that once or twice weekly rhythm, but layer in allies. Fatty fish like salmon for omega 3s that boost T synthesis, zinc rich oysters or pumpkin seeds for fuel production, and 7 hours of sleep. Your tests repair then. Avoid plastics leaching endocrine disruptors, glass jars for leftovers. And if levels crash below 300, we test and treat gels, shots, but habits first. Elias now mentors at a community center. His laugh is booming. Hormones aren't destiny, they're dialogue, and you're still in the conversation. Now let's turn our gaze inward to a walnut sized guardian most men ignore until it aches the prostate. Oh, how I wish we'd shout its needs from rooftops sooner. This gland, nestled below your bladder, crafts the fluid that nourishes sperm, but it's fine in later years. Prone to swelling, infection, even cancer if neglected. And stopping ejaculation? It's like damming a river. Stagnation breeds trouble. Recall Maria's husband, Carlos, a 68-year-old landscaper from Miami, whose sun-weathered face hid a secret wince. That dull throb down low, Doc, after sitting through mass or driving to the store and peeing? It's a trickle now, waking me 3 times a night. Classic signs of prostate congestion, where seminal fluid pools, thickens, inflames. No ejaculation for 18 months, he confessed sheepishly. Lost the wife last year, didn't see the point. Heartbreaking, but fixable. The prostate thrives on flushing. Regular release clears toxins, reduces pressure. Harvard's landmark study of 32,000 men showed those ejaculating 21 plus times monthly cut prostate cancer risk by 20 to 31%, the benefit strongest after 50. Carlos's PSA spiked mildly, but an ultrasound revealed no malignancy, just irritation from disuse. We mapped out a plan: hydration to ease flow, saw palmetto supplements for anti-inflammatory support, and yes, gentle self-stimulation to vent the system, as I put it. He balked at first, at my age, but warmed to it with humor. If it's good for the pipes, why not? 6 weeks later, the ache faded, nights stretched longer, and biopsies? Unneeded. Now he gardens with vigor, sharing tips with neighbors. Feels like I dodged a bullet, Doc. Your shield? That modest frequency, 4-7 times weekly per the data, via solo or partnered means. Watch for symptoms, urgency, weak stream, pain. See your urologist first. Early catches save wars. Tomatoes lycopene, green teas catechins. These allies fight inflammation too. Carlos taught me vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the seed of renewal. But my friend, the deepest cut often hides in shadows we don't name. The emotional ebb, the quiet theft of joy that leaves a man feeling unseen. It's the fourth thief, the one that doesn't show on scans but etches lines on your soul. Envision quiet evenings in a Boston suburb where widower Samuel, 71, sips tea alone, photos of his late bride on the mantle. I miss her, Doc, but it's more, I miss me. Days blur, smiles feel borrowed, like colors leached from the world. No depression diagnosis, no big losses beyond time, but zero intimacy, even self. Months turn to years, and with it, a hollowness. Dopamine dips, oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, starves, endorphins fade. Masturbation isn't an indulgence, it's elixir, flooding your brain with mood lifters that buffer stress, sharpen sleep, fend off loneliness. Cleveland Clinic reports it slashes cortisol, eases anxiety, even mimics mild antidepressants. For seniors, when social circles shrink, this self-connection is lifeline, preserving emotional resilience, staving cognitive fog. Samuel's turnaround? We wove in therapy, talking grief unlocked doors, then mindfulness apps with sensual elements, framing touch as self-care, not sin. You're honoring the man she loved, I told him. Releases brought tears first, then release, laughter at a comedy show, volunteering at the library, eyes bright again. It's like waking from a long nap. To nurture this, carve sacred space, dim lights, favorite music, no screens. Explore erotica if it calls, or just sensation, lotions, feathers, breath. Post-release journal. What felt alive? It builds intimacy with self. And community. Men's groups normalize it, dissolve shame. Samuel's now penning letters to his grandkids. Vitality reborn. We've traveled far, haven't we? From Harold's quiet frustration to Samuel's reclaimed spark, these stories aren't anomalies, they're invitations. Stopping self pleasure after 60 risks, circulatory fade, hormonal haze, prostate peril, emotional eclipse. But embracing it mindfully, it fortifies, renews, reminds you aging isn't erasure, it's evolution. You're not too old, you're timely. Start tonight, a warm bath, a kind hand, a promise to yourself. Consult if concerns persist. We're partners in this. If this stirred something, comment 1 for solidarity, 0 for questions. Like, share, subscribe. Let's light paths for each other. You're vital, valued, vibrant. Until next time, care deeply for you. This is Dr. James Micheal, signing off with gratitude. Let's deepen the penile function section. Beyond Tom, there's Javier, a 62-year-old chef from Texas, whose passion for spices mirrored his once fiery bedroom life. Post-heart scare, fear froze him. No touch, no try. What if it triggers something? Valid worry, but disuse did worse. By visit, Peyronie's like curvature from fibrosis, bending what was straight. We demystified arousal stress positive vessels like cardio for your heart. European urology data. Regular activity halves ED progression in at-risk men. Javier's protocol? Kegels, squeeze as if holding pee, 10 reps thrice daily, to tone pelvic floor, plus vacuum devices for gentle pulls. Solo sessions with coconut oil, visualizing safe joys. 8 weeks. Flexibility returned, confidence bloomed. Now he cooks for a lady friend, flirting over fajitas. Spice is life's secret, Doc, in the kitchen and beyond. For hormones, layer in Robert 69, a librarian whose bookshelves groaned but his spirit sagged. Foggy head, achy joints, blamed the book's dust. Low T at 250, no activity in 2 years. Explanation? Arousal spikes, luteinizing hormone, cueing testes. Without feedback loop stalls. Endocrine Society, activity boosts T by 10-15% short term, sustains long. Robert's Revival, resistance bands for squats. Each rep a T builder plus fenugreek tea, nature's androgen ally. Self-pleasure as energy ritual, mornings when cortisol's low. Hit levels 380. He joined a book club, debating with verve. Pages turn and so do I. Prostate deep dive. Add Luis 74, fisherman from Florida, whose sea legs faltered on land. Burn when I pee, like sand in the works. Congestion from 24-month drought. Urology health, 21 plus ejections, month slashes risk 20%. Luis's fix, prostate massage tools, safe, curved for external ease, plus ejaculation log to track relief. Lycopene from watermelon, nature's Viagra too, and walks on the beach. Symptoms vanished, he's reeling marlin again. Clear waters inside and out. Emotional, Grace's widower, Arthur, 66, artist whose canvases are grayed. Colors dulled, Doc. Like my heart. No release of endorphins. Psychology Today. Orgasm rivals exercise for mood lift. Arthur's path, tantric breathing, slow inhales during touch to amplify connection. Post, sketching vibrant sunsets. Art's back because I am. Expand tips, nutrition nexus, avocados for healthy fats aiding T, berries for antioxidants guarding prostate. Exercise synergy, yoga's child's pose eases pelvic tension, boosting flow. Sleep sanctuary, release before bed for deeper rest as prolactin soothes. Warnings with empathy, if pain, blood, or sudden changes, seek care, could signal more. Prostate exams yearly post 50. Mental health tie, if shame blocks, therapy unburdens. Drop thoughts below. We're family here. Stay mindful. Stay alive. Dr. Daria Micheal out.